A man's personality and character is exuded through his haircut. Your image is important. Our high-end services range from a traditional haircut and shave to gray blending, beard shaping, and unwanted hair removal. Located at 425 Victoria Avenue East. Book your appointment online now at modernmen.ca or call Tammy 306-522-4111. Modern Men, a haircut for the modern man.
Hello, I'm Sean McNall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. McNall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
Now, Pro Bowl quarterback Gus Frerotte joining us on video chat this morning. How about that?
When you watch the Kansas City Chiefs, I think that Coach Reid does a great job of understanding who his weapons are for Patrick Mahomes and letting them run routes, letting them do things that they're really good at. I think that every defensive coordinator is calling the Saints right now and trying to figure out how they can beat the Buccaneers as well.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show. Good morning, Canada. Welcome to the RP Show and Canadian sports fans around the world. We are live. It is episode number 414 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. For the longest time, I was trying to figure out who Gus Frerotte reminds me of with his dialect and sound, a way of speaking. It's Craig Dickinson.
Oh, wow.
The head coach of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. So when Gus Frerotte joins us later on today, the Pro Bowl quarterback from the National Football League, 15-year veteran, you see if he reminds me of Craig Dickinson.
I'm going to pay more attention.
Yeah. So welcome, everybody. We're coming to you from the bunker from Western Canada, RP here. The moose there. Do you have your moose?
I don't. I need to go get it. I need to go get it.
Well, we have several breaks. Okay. We got a gift from one of the viewers, one of our P1s, and it's a moose. And you're going to want to see it. We've got it haltered downstairs. That's tied up to the wall. So, yeah, we'll hook him in.
We'll trot him in.
For watching later on. The moose. And also on the program today, besides Gus Frerotte, we've got former NFLer and CFLer Brandon London from Giants TV in New York. I think he's hanging his hat in Los Angeles now. And also the longtime assistant general manager of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and former director of player personnel of the Toronto Argonauts, Ted Goveia, is going to be with us on the program, too. I'm very much looking forward to that. We've got a lot to get to. You've been on a call all morning long, so you didn't hear this list that I have in my hot little hands here.
Not a clue.
Before we get to the quick six show topics, we were talking about how we're live across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Do you want to know the markets of which we air in? Wouldn't this be cool?
This would be cool.
And if you are watching in America, by the way, and you don't hear your state or city announced, send us a text message, please, on the Prairie Mobile text line. Put up the number if you don't mind, Jordan. 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here's where we air on Game Plus. I bet you the cats in Toronto opping this show really want to know, too. Maybe they already know. I don't know. But on the Optimum cable service, we are in New Jersey, New York City, and Connecticut. On the Buckeye cable service all across Ohio, Toledo, Cincinnati, Cleveland, as well as Detroit, Michigan.
Whoa.
There's a few duplicates here. Chantel Cable, all through Virginia. On Sudden Link, Altus Cable, New Jersey and New York City. HTC Cable, all across South Carolina. So hello to our friends in South Carolina.
Cool.
And also RCN Cable. We are airing in Boston, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. Hey, President Biden. Happy Thursday to you. On Vive Cable, Oklahoma and Texas. And on TDS Cable, they're big, just so you know.
Okay.
They're like Rogers, it would seem. TDS Cable, we are airing in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, Arizona, Colorado, Oklahoma, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, New York, Vermont, Maine. I've been everywhere, man.
I love it.
So there you go.
That's great.
Those are all the states.
What are we missing? I need a target, okay? What are we missing?
You know what Ryan, our technical producer, said about the states missing? They don't matter.
Ooh. That's very good.
I'm with Ryan on that one.
That's
so,
very good.
Hey, right out of the gate, you never know what you're going to get. So let's hit it with the quick six show topics, please, Director Jordan. Thanks for sitting through all of that. Number one, again, these are of importance to me, the show host of the Rod Pedersen Show. So here we go. Number one, the Regina bubble. News breaking from Jeff Merrick of Sportsnet in Toronto. He is, last I checked, still the host of the Memorial Cup coverage, is he not? Mm-hmm. I'm usually at the games, so I don't always watch them on TV. So Jeff Merrick tweeting last night that the Sweatpants capital will be the bubble for the Western Hockey League return to play for the East Division. Yeah, we all got excited. And then the Winnipeg Free Press joined the party. My longtime friend Mike Sawatsky, writing a story on this return. And he interviewed John Paddock. And I was telling you boys this morning in our morning meeting, because you didn't all read it, he kind of led John Paddock in the questioning. Like, is it true that it's going to be in Regina? John's like, well, yeah, it's looking that way, but it's not firm yet. Is it true they're going to stay at the University of Regina? They're going to put all the players up on campus? Well, yeah, it's looking that way. Is it true that it could have been in Brandon and Winnipeg, but they decided for Regina? And John Paddock's like, yeah. Well, we got the Brand Center here and then 6 sheets of ice right next door at the Eventplex, the Cooperators. See where I'm going here? Mm-hmm. So he just kind of led the way. So between Jeff Merrick and the Winnipeg Free Press, all this news is out there. But as I said to you guys this morning, who does it benefit or serve to have Jeff Merrick tweeting this? Because I'm not saying very much. We're all hearing the same things. We talk to the same people, but I'm not saying anything because I don't want to screw it up. When I see Bob McKenzie and Darren Dreger and Pierre LeBrun and Elliot Friedman saying things on my screen, I know that's coming from the National Hockey League, and there's a plan behind this, and I don't have a problem with it. It's the NHL's way of getting their info out. How does this serve the Western Hockey League if it's not done yet? Because what we are hearing from all levels of major junior hockey within the teams is there's a ton of red tape that needs to be cleared. This is not a guarantee yet. They do not have a start date. And that's not to say it's not going to happen. But I'm just thinking Dr. Shahab, the province's top medical doctor, what if he's surfing Twitter and following Jeff Merrick and he's like, what? Wait, I didn't approve this? Or am I completely out to lunch?
Well, no, but my thought is that if the bubble's been, like, if the concept's been approved, then you start chalking off red tape, right? So if the bubble plan is great, then that's cool. Then, you know, from that point of view, if the bubble's approved, that doesn't mean that they're playing yet. That just means that the bubble's approved. That means that the plan's a good one. Now we got to figure out if we can make this plan work in terms of money, getting teams in. But as we heard, still got to get Manitoba on board, right? It's going to be tremendously expensive. It's not going to be cheap. 3 months players are going to have to stay for the entire 3 months.
Yeah.
If they leave, then you risk, having negative tests when you come back and delaying all of it. So it is a long way from being a sure thing. But I do think, hearing about it is tremendously exciting. Because what are we thinking about? We might get hockey to watch again, like in the Western League. We might get to call. You and I might get to call some games if we're lucky, because we love being in the booth. I don't know if I'll be able to go on the radio or not, but we're thinking about it. We're excited about it.
Everybody's excited.
And the fans are excited.
Well, and maybe there was a plan to Jeff Merrick tweeting this, and that's great. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just wondering who it serves. I would just like to wait until that news conference when they sit there and say, we're playing and here's the details. And that hasn't happened yet. But Again, it's our number one Quick Six show topic, so it's got everybody talking, and we're all excited. We're just hoping for the best. Okay, moving on. Not as much time will be spent on this, but point two, COVID chaos in the National Hockey League. There are currently 4 teams that are under COVID suspension right now. Minnesota, New Jersey, Buffalo, and the Vegas Golden Knights. And Brian Burke, I think, said it best of anybody last night. Burke is like... His biggest fear is that teams will make the playoffs that didn't play the full 56 games. Because he's like, you already have a condensed schedule as it is. The Vegas Golden Knights haven't played since early last week. Where are they going to get these games in? So my other thinking on that is, does it really matter? Does it really matter? Everybody wants it to be totally perfect. But will it be totally perfect? Nothing's perfect right now. So if a team gets in based on winning percentage because they've played less games, I could live with it.
Yeah.
Could you live with it?
Yeah.
I think we could all live with it,
Absolutely.
Berkey. Well, here's how fast things roll. Point 3, Charleston Hughes gets released by the Saskatchewan Roughriders Wednesday. We did an Instagram live interview live from a sushi house yesterday.
I saw that.
Which was cool. Thank you, Charleston, for doing that. And then this morning, I'm going through the drive-thru at Tim Hortons. This is my first shot of coffee, because later I'll dabble into in hour 2, I'll get into the Caliber coffee. But I got a call this morning. Guy said, are you able to tweet right now? And I'm like, why? He goes, Charleston Hughes has just signed with the Toronto Argonauts. Okay, I'll call you back. Pull aside, put on the hazards.
Yeah.
Tweet it, and then I called the dude back, and we chatted for a while. Charleston Hughes is a Toronto Argonaut. You heard it here first. And now it's national news. Do you want to spend a minute on that, or do we move on?
No, absolutely.
Okay, so we all have, if you're into it, and for our American viewers that don't know, I would think that you would. Charleston Hughes is am I wrong in saying the Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt of the CFL? He's the biggest pass rushing star in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan Roughriders released him yesterday over money. They couldn't find an agreement, and the Toronto Argonauts were very happy to swoop in and pick him up. And now he's in Argo. That didn't take long. That's my read on it. What's yours?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Charleston has kind of alluded to the fact that there's more to this story. There's more he wants to say, but it's not the right time. He's tweeting on a, hour-by-hour basis. It is interesting to see, is $15,000 or whatever the reported numbers are, at the end of the day, it just doesn't. It feels like it's more than about money. That's all. It just, reading the tea leaves from, Twitter and the fans, they're upset. They all think it's about money. But at the end of the day, if you want things to happen, if you want to do things, you find ways to do them, right? If both sides want to be here, they'll find a way to do it. If Charleston wants to be here and Jeremy O'Day and the Riders want to have him here, they'll find a way. Money won't be an obstacle, right? It's not like they were going to pay him less than $100,000 or...
Well, and that's why when we were talking with Charleston, he was in this building. He's been in this building every day for the last week. And I'm like, if you got to twist their arm to make this happen, then there's no point, Chucky. And he knew that.
Yeah.
Because if you get them to overpay, life's going to be miserable every day. Yeah. And you just get... It's not the end of the world. It's like when you have your own value as a person and a player, or a broadcaster, or a doctor, or a fireman, and your employer doesn't see your worth, it's time to go. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And this is where it is with Charleston Hughes. But you mentioned they'll find a way. This is where I admire the Western Hockey League governors and owners, because they're doing this for their players' benefit to get them out onto the ice. They're going to lose money either way. They're doing this for the players and their staff. I admire that the most out of anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm really praying that it comes together. By the way, Kurt Jones tweeting us, "Hey, Rod Pedersen, how about a quick shout-out for the Dinsmore Memorial Arena vying for the honor of being Kraft Hockeyville? Sign in and support our cause at Dynamo's SHC." Dinsmore Memorial Arena. Will this be the year? Saskatchewan has never won Kraft Hockeyville. Never. We were the only Western Canadian town, Pence, last year, and we still couldn't win it. Will this be the year? Dinsmore?
Oh, I hope so.
Who won it last year? Tottenberg, Nova Scotia, or something
I think
like that?
so.
Tillottsville?
We gotta go back and look
Somewhere
it
in the Maritimes. And it's not that we got all this reaction from the Maritimes. And this
Very
week.
deserving.
Very
But you look
deserving,
at
but-
the impact that Saskatchewan has on the NHL,
Yeah.
right?
Can we please win?
Just once.
1 year? Moving on, point 4, the NLL canceled its season. And I have written here in brackets, comparisons. The NLL canceled its season. It sucks. I'm a Saskatchewan Rush season ticket holder. He's been on the Rush broadcast, both radio and television. You've been on the League broadcast.
Yep.
I'm just as a fan thinking it sucks because one of my most cherished things in life is jumping in a car or a party bus and going to Saskatoon to watch the Rush. So I'm down in the dumps over that. But people are saying, well, if the NLL thinks they can survive 2 years, which it is 2 years, by the way, that's two championships not handed out. It makes me think the CFL will last. No, I'm sorry. You don't understand. They're totally different. For most people in the NLL, for the players, it's their second job. We all know that.
They make $25,000.
It's like $1,000 a game is what
Yeah.
those guys are making. Charleston Hughes makes about $10,000 a game. Just to look at the difference. So the NLL can mothball. Their staffs are very small. Their staffs have long had other jobs. So they're fine. In the Canadian Football League, they're just that much higher than the NLL, where that this is their whole career. This is their whole life for a lot of people in the CFL. It's not easy for the NLL to mothball themselves, but it's easier. Fair?
Oh, yeah.
But I did get a message this morning from within inside the Canadian Football League that it is looking very positive that they are going to find a way to play. But I would hope over the last 10 months you're taking some time to sit and just really look at these leagues and the difference in how they operate. Like the NFL and the CFL and the NHL and the MLB, none of them are the same. None of them are the same. For the longest time in my life, I thought they were too, but are you realizing now why and how they're not? So you can't compare the NLL and the CFL. And for that matter, the Western Hockey League, junior hockey, they're not paying the players. This is what makes it far easier. They're still subjected to all the same testing. They will be, right? But not having a payroll of $5.5 million makes a huge difference. 6.5, whatever it is now. Huge difference. Anyways, moving on. And I got to speed up here. This is the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up at the Four Seasons. You're home for the NFL. Point 5, there are 8 NHL games tonight, and they include Ottawa at Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto, and Calgary at Winnipeg. Those are your Scotia North Division big games. Biggest one I'll be watching is Jets Flames. Biggest one you'll be watching is Leafs Canucks.
That's right.
Between the two of us, we got it all covered.
We got it covered.
And point 6, they called it an outburst last night as much as Paul Maurice could have an outburst. That's what Jennifer Botterill said on Sportsnet, that it wasn't an outburst. He never raised his voice. But who was the Winnipeg reporter? Can you Winnipeg viewers tell me, please? And you're going to have to text because we don't have a live comment feed for me to see today. Who was the Winnipeg reporter that went after Blake Wheeler for a lazy back check? Really? Clark's telling me in my ear it's our buddy Sean Reynolds. Whoops. By the way, Sean Reynolds, somebody feed that boy.
Looking a little thin.
Did you notice? Almost gaunt. Or get a haircut. His hair looks top heavy. He's got so much hair. Looks like he's lost a lot of weight. Very good looking guy.
Why do you think I've grown it out?
Makes you look thinner.
Yeah.
And was it Reynolds? Ooh. Anyways. I'm not trusting your source. Somebody in Winnipeg tell me who went after Blake Wheeler, because it doesn't sound like something to me that Sean Reynolds would do. It sounds like something that a lot of other Winnipeg reporters would do. But I love that Paul Maurice said this. He said, if you're going to criticize, whatever, you're going to say what you're going to say, at least be right. You had the wrong guy. Did you see the clip?
Yeah.
It was a 30 to 45 second rant by Paul Maurice.
We're 6-3-1, and you're going to criticize this? Okay.
Yeah, well, that's
no, he's like, I'm not buying it.
That's the media. And media aside, Twitter has literally ruined sports for me. Like, if you want to delete your account, life will get a lot better. I don't want to delete my account, but everybody wants to be Scotty Bowman on Twitter, from Joe Sixpack to Johnny Blogger and it's ruined sports. Just enjoy it. Why do you got to nitpick every bloody thing? Can you just and prove how much of an expert you are when 99% of the time you're wrong? We'll be back with Ted Goveia. Woo-sa. Is Ted ready? Okay, awesome. Ted Goveia, the assistant GM of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. When we come back, you're watching the RP Show on Game Plus television across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and listen live for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
He's covering everything that matters to you. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. Tune in live Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon to catch the show live and be a part of the action. Take control by commenting live and sharing the show with your friends. Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the RP Show. We've got breaking news out of the Canadian Football League this morning. They're telling me that the Edmonton football team has brought back offensive lineman Sir Vincent Rogers, friend of the program, star offensive tackle, really good guy. And it's a great time to bring in the assistant general manager of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Ted Goveia, who's been in that role since 2013, Argos before that, and then highly successful in junior football and university. Ted joining us today. How you doing, Ted?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Good to chat football with you, sir. Where are you joining us from today, by the way? Are you in the Peg?
Oh, no, I'm in Southern Ontario. I flew back on Saturday, and I've been in quarantine ever since. So I appreciate the opportunity to talk with somebody. I've been locked up for 5 days.
It's a good time to talk CFL football, too, by the way. And I'm not going to get too in depth in the comings and goings and that kind of thing, but I do want to ask a couple things that maybe you could just, shed some light on for CFL fans across the country. This 1 week prior negotiation window that's new, how you feel about that, and then I want to get into the virtual draft the virtual combine and that kind of thing that's coming up. But how's it changed business, this week prior window that we have now to free agency?
Well, I think there's a little more transparency. I think it's still a relationship-based business. So, people talk all the time. We talk with agents all the time. And so you're exchanging information and following shows to gather information. But it hasn't changed a whole lot,
Yeah. Well, and so the movement that's gone on now with the salary cap and the constraints of the CFL, have you been surprised by these moves, or Ted, you've been around the CFL long enough that nothing surprises you anymore?
Well, I think this situation's unique, as you know, Rod, that I think the impact of COVID on not only the CFL and sports, but, concerts, entertainment, all kinds of businesses have been affected. So am I surprised that we've had to do things that make sense responsibly and financially that impact people? Not at all. I think that's what needed to be done. And yes, it hurts and it stings, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's the nature of the business. I was just thinking the other day, what does COVID have against sports and entertainment? What did we do to COVID? Because it's just ruining what we love so much or hurting it so much. But by the way, I was talking to Murph the other day, and he said he saw you at the Reese's Senior Bowl in Mobile. How was that, Ted?
Well, it was awesome. I wanted to get on the road. I usually spend about 100 days on the road every year, and this year I haven't. So, with all the draft picks that were going to be at the two events that I went to, I just felt it was time to get out and get back to what I needed to do. But I was careful.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, what was it like being at the Reese's Senior Bowl? I had to listen to it on the radio because I was on the road myself, and it sounded wonderful. But how was it different from past Senior Bowls?
Well, it was wonderful to be out. They moved it to a different stadium, to South Alabama, that I had spent some time at, when it was just a grass field. So I loved seeing what they did with the facilities there. The environment was good, but it was different. I mean, people were distancing, and it was a little harder to get into things. It was a bit of a ghost town in terms of the social part. A lot of it's networking and talking to agents and connecting with people. So that part didn't exist to a big degree, but the player part was great. The players are always good. And to get a chance to see them compete live and to have 3 Canadian kids going in there and competing against the best in the NCAA, to me was way worth it. It was excellent.
Well, we had Chris Jones on the air last week. I don't know if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and it was raining. And he had mentioned how all of what you normally would have done for scouting was done virtually that way. And Ted, I don't know if you know, my dad worked in the NHL as a scout for 26 years. I got a pretty good idea how the scouting business goes. And a lot of what you guys want to do is face-to-face, measuring guys, right? Seeing how much hair is on their knuckles, how big are their hands, that kind of thing. So
yes,
you haven't been able to do that for a long time. What was it like at the Senior Bowl?
Well, we were not allowed to participate in the weigh-ins and the measurable parts. But you got to remember, I'm at the Senior Bowl, so usually I'm going to have to wait a long time to get my hands on one of those players anyway. So by the time I get him, all those things don't really matter. He's been playing pro football. I got a pretty good idea of where he's at, and I'll get the pro day numbers and everything else from other people. So that part wasn't important to me. The important thing was seeing the compete level in drills, watching these Canadian kids go against other great players and trying to project where they're going to fit on a CFL field. It's great. When they're doing drills and it's best on best, it beats game film any day. So I loved it and took advantage of every minute we had. It was excellent.
Ted Goveia is the assistant general manager of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Now, just flip that, if you don't mind, to you're back in Canada. We have not had youth sports for a year. My heart it's broken for the seniors. Yeah. So, and those Canadians at NCAA have this competitive imbalance, right? You saw the Scouting Bureau rankings when they came out. They're all NCAA guys. So can you talk about, for the fans of the CFL that don't really understand about this draft coming up this spring and the combine, how this has affected things?
Well, I think from a scouting perspective, the thing that a lot of people don't realize is there's more eliminating people than qualifying people. At some point, you're qualifying people, but being able to see people live and in action, you get an idea on demeanor and interaction and how they are with the game on the line and the level of competition they're playing against. You can see that with your eyes if you've been doing it for a long time. So not having the ability to do that is hard. It's harder to eliminate people. And, let's face it, Rod, everybody looks good when they put together their best 20 clips on a highlight reel with some funky music and send it to you. And they played 500 snaps of football that season. So, it's harder to eliminate, and the job, you got to work harder at it and longer at it. I think that would be the major change.
Oh, I know. And here's the thing. I had GMs and assistant GMs in the CFL telling me last year when you guys had to do the draft virtually, they're like, we're not going to get a pass here if we screw up this draft because of COVID. And that was when I first started. Like, you've seen Doc Rivers get fired because they couldn't win in the bubble, and the Todd Reardon, the coach of the Washington Capitals. Nobody's getting a pass, Ted. You guys must be talking about that amongst yourselves. You still got to have good drafts.
Well, you always have to have good drafts, but Rod, we've got a lot of continuity in our building, and when we go out and see these kids, I'm not just writing up the seniors. I'm writing up every player there. If I go to a practice and there's 80 kids, I'm not watching 80. I got a pretty good idea before I get there who I need to watch. And I've been doing it a while. A lot of the guys coaching now played for me or I coached. So those relationships and stuff, they'll point you in the right direction. You need to do the work. But I'm confident that we'll be prepared irregardless of the situation. We'll be ready to go. And we've already got a list. We've been working at it for years. So,
I bet.
We'll get through it. It's not ideal, but it's not an excuse not to do the job.
Well, the main thing is to get into camp, get on the field, and get playing. And lastly, Ted, we got a few minutes left. Murph said to me, he goes, Goveia will be great. Just ask about what he knows, and he'll go on. So I got one for you. You got a couple of Grey Cup. Yeah, well, every Grey Cup rings. You love them all. They're like your kids. They were, as you know, they literally are. But you got a couple real special ones. 2012, the 100th Grey Cup in Toronto. I was there. Yeah. It was awesome. And then 2019 with the Blue Bombers. Yeah, 2019 with the Blue Bombers. I won't ask you which one's better because it's unfair. But talk about why they're special to you.
Well, obviously your first one's always special. I'm sure you remember your first ones. They mean a lot, right? At that time, I worked with some really, really good people, guys that I learned a lot from, and Steinhauer and Osh and Barker and Chris Jones. And, I've been coaching there for a couple of years, and to get into the personnel side and see those guys kind of bring it all together, I learned a ton. So, I loved it. It was at home. I'm from Toronto, or at least that area. And if you were there, then you'd remember it was pretty electric. The one in Winnipeg, it's a long time later, so maybe it was more relief than joy. I was just listening to everything build over the years. We're close, and to get it. And I think that win was more relief. But at the end of the day, you get to a point in your career where you're more looking around, seeing how happy, the players are, and how our equipment man are just, been there forever, and see him get up there on the stage and do it, or Jake Thomas raise the cup when he's been there for a decade. I think you're more celebrating watching other people with the pleasure they're getting at this stage in the game than you are necessarily, thumping your own chest. Although I do appreciate Murphy propping me up like that.
Well, Murph. Yeah, so I said, what do I need to ask Goveia? And he's like, just ask him whatever. Just ask him what he knows, and he'll go.
Yeah,
which
sure.
Yeah, and same with Murph. Jones always called him press play. Just press play on Murph. Which I'll never forget. But that's the thing with Bombers Argos. Like, it was for you 10 seasons between Grey Cups, but for Winnipeg, it was 30. So, So again, a bit of an unfair question to ask, but because they both mean a lot, but I get what it means more to the city, and it would be Winnipeg by a mile. But Ted, we do have to run. I appreciate the chat, and for all the CFL fans watching, there's a face of a guy behind the scenes that makes the CFL go. And if you're supporting the CFL, it's guys like Ted. Ted, thanks for the time.
Thanks for your time, and congrats on the show. I really enjoy it.
Appreciate it, man. Okay, well let's bring you on again soon.
Sounds good.
Ted Goveia, the assistant general manager of the Grey Cup champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Can't forget about that.
No, he can't.
It's been a while. But yeah, we'll be back with a sports update, a CFL report. You are watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television. Live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say. And I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. AD DDG. Always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live. Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back to the RP Show, everybody. Shout out Winnipeg.
Hey.
I got to the bottom of it. I've been sworn to secrecy, but I asked somebody in Winnipeg, who was Paul Maurice singling out for being on Blake Wheeler's butt, the Jets captain? The report I got was everybody in Winnipeg. Not one single reporter. I guess everybody's been on Wheeler for a slow start for the 6-3-1 Jets. So it wasn't Maurice had just had enough.
He said, slow start, 11 points in 10 games. What?
I know.
Are you kidding?
Oh, I know. This is a day where it's unfortunate that our viewer comments are down for us internally because I can't see what anybody's writing here. And I'll have to log into YouTube. You think it's okay for a squirrel like me to go to YouTube, to Facebook, to here, to there, but it's really not.
I know.
It's kind of difficult.
Becomes a little bit of a thing. Speaking of Winnipeg, we were at the Landmark, in Regina with our staff, and we saw
Landmark Cinema.
We saw the ad, the Landmark Cinemas. You know where they have Landmark Cinemas, and they may start
all
seeing
over
your
Winnipeg.
face. Yeah, and mainly Winnipeg and Brandon.
Nice.
Two of the bigger centers. So that's cool. We'll be infecting more Manitoban minds with the crazy stuff we put on the screen.
Sorry about that. Sports update. Check the YouTube feed, by the way, the comment section. Sports update. David Pastrnak and Patrice Bergeron found a way to get 2 points for the Boston Bruins on the road. Pastrnak had a hat trick in regulation and then assist on Bergeron's winner as the Bruins came from behind to beat the Philly Flyers 4-3 in overtime, and Carter had another meltdown in the Flyers' crease. Did you see? He's broke his stick in 3 pieces on the crossbar. I'm thinking it was funny once, Carter. Yeah.
Philly gets to goalies.
Philly something. The National Hockey League announced that 5 additional Minnesota Wild players are being added to the COVID-19 protocol list, and the team's games will be postponed at least through Tuesday, February 9th. The NHL now has 4 different teams on COVID pause: the Golden Knights, Devils, Sabres, and Wild. St. Louis Blues general manager Doug Armstrong will be the GM for the Canadian men's team if NHL players participate in the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. Canada's management staff for the 2022 Olympics also includes Associate General Manager Ken Holland of the Edmonton Oilers and Assistant GMs Ron Francis of the Seattle Kraken. To the NBA, Paul George made a season-high 8 3-pointers and scored 36 points, and the LA Clippers found enough energy on tired legs to end a 6-game road trip with a 121-99 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kawhi Leonard added 24 points for LA. The Baltimore Orioles have agreed to sign veteran righty Felix Hernandez to a minor league contract. He won an AL Cy Young Award, 2 ERA titles, and made 6 All-Star teams over 15 seasons with Seattle before becoming a free agent last offseason. This sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Book your table for Super Bowl 55. Seating's limited. Visit their website at ballersrecroom.com. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. You are on the YouTube feed. There are more comments from our show account than there is anybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
You look like you have something on your mind. Do you over there?
No, we need more comments on the YouTube feed. Less of us, more of you.
Yeah, exactly. Please. YouTube Live Daily and Facebook, for me, isn't working today for your comments, so I will need you to text in. Hey, Joe Lazito. Here's the text on the Prairie Mobile text line. Good morning from Long Island. Has getting Andre DuPont on the show ever been discussed? What better way to acquaint Darren with the original Moose than a chat with the man himself, Andre Moose DuPont. Well, Joe Lazito, he's a little before the time of these young punks, but I obviously am familiar with Andre Moose DuPont of the feared Broad Street Bullies. And your family has spoken with you about Andre DuPont.
Oh, yeah.
There's no relation, right?
I don't think so, but I've never done the ancestry thing. I want to because there's some wealthy, DuPonts out there.
DuPont Racing.
DuPont Racing. Well, the chemical company, obviously, whether you want to be associated with that or not. And then we were in Cuba, and there was a big mansion, and we're on the bus, and they're like, DuPont, that you? Right over there? Right? The big mansion on the side of the water and stuff? Not us, but maybe.
This may or may not surprise you, but I don't want to look into my family tree. Not interested. My mom said that we were related to Jesse James.
Whoa.
The feared, the Old West outlaw.
Yeah.
But apparently there's a lot of people that lay claim to being related to Jesse James. I'm not sure. But you get deep enough into Yellowstone, you'll realize you don't want to be looking up your birth certificate and papers. Oh, we got a YouTube comment. Where can I see it?
It's going to come on the screen.
There it is. Justin Dunk was saying Jeremy O'Day is a big Larry Dean fan and Evan Johnson is coming home. Wonder if that's why we couldn't afford Charleston. Possibly. Everybody's asking where these players are going to go. Where's Almondo Sewell going to go? I heard that he's going to be signing in Winnipeg. I heard Micah Johnson's probably going to land in Winnipeg. And they might have the best D-line in football with Willie Jefferson and Jackson Jeffcoat. If you really want to get serious about this free agency chatter, I'd prefer to talk about Yellowstone, to be honest.
But if you want to bring up those other two names, they're not cheap.
No.
They're not, lesser, paychecks. So it's not about money with Charleston. It's about, do you want him here or do you not want him here? Right? If you want him here, he'd be here. If you don't, he's gone. You want other people instead.
Well, like you say, those guys don't come cheap.
Yeah.
People, thank you for responding, by the way, because my Facebook comments are down. And so on the text line, you can reach me here. Ray in the 6 writes in. He says, hi, Rod. The Argo fans would like to thank our friends from Regina for the best pass rusher maybe in CFL history. If it came down to $15,000, shame on the Riders. Go Argos, Ray in the 416. Ken in Saskatoon says, Googled info average base CFL salary. It's $80,000 to $85,000. Well, the average base salary of the NLL is $19,000 with a max salary of $34,000. Ken in Saskatoon. Now, again, that's what I'm saying. These are things that we've long known. And maybe we should have been saying these things. I don't know. I mean, the owners of the Rush, very close friends of mine. I'd like to say longtime friends of mine, the Urban family, not as long as I would have liked. But they took me for breakfast at a Perkins. We had the scramblers, the pan scramblers, and they broke down the entire finances of the NLL for me. Because they're like, Rod, we know that you haven't historically been a big NLL fan. Why would you be? You don't have a team in your province. So I guess this is like 3-4 years ago. And they broke it all down for me. And we've been thick as thieves ever since.
Hey,
But I guess the fans, this is what some people have told me. Some multi-millionaire business people have said to me when I say, you didn't realize the CFL was on life support for decades financially until now? You didn't know? You're a season ticket holder, man. You're in the suites. And they're like, I'm running my own multi-million-dollar business. I don't have time to worry about their finances. See what I'm seeing about what people are learning?
And the image is good, right?
The image looks great.
Well, you think about that, right? And that's a little bit of that's branding. So, hey, hats off to the CFL. They've done a good job with branding. Clearly, we've done an okay job with branding because Google's telling me with the ads they're putting on my Instagram feed that I should be buying $6,000 watches. And I have no business buying $6,000 watches.
We're going to come right back with Viewer Takeover. We'll start it early. Coming up on the program today, by the way, Gus Frerotte and Brandon London, part of Super Week coverage as we work our way to Super Sunday. Bucks and Chiefs. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, Facebook and YouTube Live, and listen live at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. The refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience. Find us at ddgregina.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. It is viewer takeover time. We got lots of time for it here on Canada's daytime sports talk show, and we are coming to you from the sweatpants capital out here in Western Canada. Dupes is with me. You can write us at 840-8777. I don't think, did we announce your gift?
No. They're also, our viewers are migrating over to YouTube.
Good.
And commenting. So that's good.
Okay. You're on top of that.
So we got a little bit of that starting.
Hold it up, please.
This came in. Check it out.
We have gifts.
We got gifts.
That is Moose. Should we name him?
We should name him Moose. What are we going to name him?
Moose.
Just Moose?
That's perfect.
He's Moose.
That is a rider,
Hey,
Moose. And I appreciate
Glad.
P1 Todd Pinkney
for
Dropping that off.
I love it. It's going to stay somewhere close by all the time.
I am now live on YouTube as well, so here we go. Checking this out.
Yeah. Rick Haglin's moved over?
Michael Willoughby says, with Hughes going to Toronto, he should change his Twitter handle to Sacronto. That's not bad. That's not bad. Should I go to the CFL report?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm all over the... See what I said earlier? This is not great. I got too many phones going. From the 204... Chuck in the Peg. Actually, Chuck from the Flats in the Peg writes in.
Okay.
Best two-way team live sports show in the house. Sorry about Charleston Hughes. Is he a traitor to the green? You know, if we'd only had a camera on here in the break, the conversation between you and Clark, you guys were kind of breaking this down as to what's Charleston's place in history and how will this be viewed? Because I'm kind of out. I'm a friend of Charleston. I'm ordained member of the Rider alumni here, kind of felt caught in the crossfire. I do see both sides. You very eloquently answered the question, too. Is Charleston Hughes a traitor in Rider history?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Not a chance. I mean, this happens in business. But, again, if you want to do something, you'll find ways to make it happen. If you don't, you'll find reasons not to. You know, and money right now is being said as a reason that they couldn't agree to terms. So it's just an excuse for, you know, not doing something, right? You don't want to do it. So the two sides didn't want to get a deal done, you know. And I mean, Charleston came on our show and said he wants to be here. He likes Saskatchewan. He's got a business here. He's got things going on. Whether you believe that or not, I mean, you got to read into it and stuff. But the Riders, they didn't want to do a deal. Charleston didn't want to, you know, they didn't come together. Right?
It happens.
Yeah, it absolutely happens. And you know what? It might be great for the Riders. They got to make tough decisions all the time.
Where CFL teams, not just the Riders, are losing some leverage here is guys don't feel grounded to any particular fan base or market. I mean, Charleston loved it here, but for him to pick up and sign with the Argos, not a big deal, as our buddy Biz Nasty says. For Willie Jefferson to pick up and sign in Winnipeg for way more money, not a big deal. They don't care as much about the offseason money you could get. Speaking on the banquet circuit, most guys aren't even living here in the offseason anymore. Where's Cody Fajardo been for a year and a half? Year.
You nailed it. The world is smaller than it's ever been before, and your ability to just bing, bing, you know, come into work for a season and go back to where home is.
They're losing their leverage.
Yeah.
Back to the text line from the 403. That's Alberta. Anonymous texter says the Argos are signing a lot of great players lately. Could be a major contender if they get in sync as a group. Well, that's the plan. Got a new quarterback there, a Nick Fatty Arbuckle. Very talented group of receivers. Figgy in the backfield. From the 741, that's the Swift Current area. They say Philly has to have patience with Carter Hart. Let him develop like every good goalie. Sorry, man, not happening. I'm a huge Carter Hart fan. I'm a goalie guy. We got a lot out of that interview earlier this week with Garrick Jones, where we agreed. What do you say? Microwave mentality.
Yeah.
Put it in, press 30 seconds, beep. Doesn't work.
You don't want to wait for...
It's getting for the
good stuff.
For the good stuff. And it's getting worse. The pressure to win now is higher and hotter than it's ever been. That comes with the dough, Ramey. Big money, big pressure. Next hour, Pro Bowl NFLer Gus Frerotte from the Huddle Up with Gus podcast, and Brandon London from Giants TV, CFL NFL alum. Now 30. Okay. So that's it, Dupes. Any final thoughts here on hour one? Here's some names. Here's some names from the YouTube feed. Argonauty.
Okay.
That sounds like maybe one of the dancers.
Yeah.
For the Moose, Jaw de Moose.
Jaw de Moose.
They're coming up with some nicknames here.
All right.
Anyways, we'll continue that into hour two. We're coming up on Game Plus in hour two. And, of course, here on your favorite digital platform. Stick around.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. While the world seems to be facing one challenge after another, our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance Program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in Program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 Ford F-150 Explorer or 2020 Ford Escape and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of thoroughly inspected pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital Ford Lincoln in Regina.
Building a deeper connection with our fans by putting them in the show. It's a new era of sports talk. The Rod Pedersen Show airs from 10 to noon, Monday to Friday on Facebook Live. Join the conversation today and tune in. Online, on your phone, at home, at work. Follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. And subscribe on YouTube for all the content you want to watch. Don't wait. Do it right now.
No. Pro Bowl quarterback Gus Frerotte joining us on video chat this morning.
How about that?
When you watch the Kansas City Chiefs, I think that Coach Reid does a great job of understanding who his weapons are for Patrick Mahomes and letting them run routes, letting them do things that they're really good at. I think that every defensive coordinator is calling the Saints right now and trying to figure out how they can beat the Buccaneers as well.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
And nobody's been able to do it. Yeah, Gus Frerotte coming up here as part of Super Week. Welcome, everybody, to Hour 2 of the RP Show. Emanating from the bunker out here in Western Canada, this is Canada's daytime sports talk show. A lot has poppin', so we're going to jump right into it. Last hour, we had the assistant general manager of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the reigning Grey Cup champions, Ted Goveia, with us. This hour, we will be talking Super Bowl 55 with Pro Bowl quarterback Gus Frerotte and CFL NFL alum Brandon London of Giants TV. But just ahead of the quick six show topics, I want to say the same thing that I did an hour ago for the benefit of the viewers that weren't watching an hour ago. When I say that we are broadcasting in all 10 provinces and 31 states on the Game Plus TV network, I have written down the states, and let's go through it again. You don't mind, do you?
No, hit it.
Okay, and the cable services on which we're provided. On Optimum Cable, New Jersey, New York City, and Connecticut. From the Buckeye cable system, Toledo, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Detroit, and the greater state of Ohio. Shentel Cable, that is in Virginia, Suddenlink /Altus Cable, NYC, and New Jersey. From HTC Cable all across South Carolina, loud and proud in Myrtle Beach and Charleston, South Carolina. On the RCN Cable, we are available in Boston, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. We talk about all those Philly viewers.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, they like us in Philly more than Boston. I don't know why. On Vive Cable, we're available in Oklahoma and Texas. And here's the big one. TDS Cable, they're really big. They're like Rogers in Canada or Eastlink out of the Maritimes, like really big. We're on the air in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, California, Arizona, Colorado, Oklahoma, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, New York again, the Empire State.
Wow.
Is that offensive? Vermont and Maine. So there you go. That's where they're watching us today. Send us a text to the Prairie Mobile text line, 306-840-8777, because for some reason, Facebook comments for us are down today. But before I go back to the text line, let's jump into the quick 6 show topics, please. And thank you, Director Jordan. For those that have just found us, the quick 6 show topics are 6 topics in order of importance to me, the host. So if you don't like them, keep it to yourself. Number 1. A tweet from Sportsnet host Jeff Merrick last night said that the Western Hockey League is moving to a Regina bubble. They're going to bring the East Division teams, 7 of them now, I guess, here into the sweatpants capital. And it'll be a bubble, and they'll be playing out of the Brand Center, which is our local hockey rink, arena, and the University of Regina, supposedly, according to the Winnipeg Free Press, is going to house these teams. And it's up to 3 months, they're telling us. So my thing is, we've heard all these same things too. I'm not saying anything because I don't want to jinx it. We're told and we're hoping to have a role in some form or fashion of this. So I'm just saying, let's have the news conference and let's play. But until it's done, I don't know what the tweet from Jeff Merrick serves, because my phone's been blowing up all day saying, this isn't done yet. It's not done yet. There's a lot of red tape. We haven't cleared all the hurdles. So I don't know why. I'm not blaming Jeff Merrick. I'm wondering why they're sending him the information to put out on Twitter, because I don't know that it was a benefit.
Yeah, I kind of go the other way a little bit. I think it is a benefit.
Is this the face-off?
This might be the face-off. I think it's a good thing. You know what? If the bubble's been approved, that's great. But we do need a caution. That's only step 1. Right? The bubble being approved is only step 1. You talk about that red tape.
Educate me, please.
It's money, right? You have to get all the teams in. The testing has to be, fulfilled. Just because the plan's on paper, now you got to fulfill all these things that are in that plan. So if the plan's been approved, that's great. That means the leaders have done a really good job presenting a plan that the government can sign off on. They feel secure about. We feel safe. That's good. But now you got to get Manitoba on board. You got to get those, the Winnipeg Ice, the Brandon Wheat Kings. They got to be on board to come in.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things.
You got to get the housing checked off. You got to get the transportation. You got to figure out broadcasting. You got to figure out all these things yet. But I do think it's tremendously exciting that the bubble's been approved and that at least step 1 has been cleared. I think that's really, really exciting.
Oh, my only point is I just hope that, the health people don't see this tweet. Dr. Shahab, our province's top doctor, surfing Twitter and goes, what? I didn't approve this. And he gets mad and just goes, nope, no soup for you. I think he has that power, right? He holds the fate of sports in his hand. He has for 10 months. On the flip side, maybe he realizes, come on, man. The junior hockey people have been waiting almost a year. They're excited. So let's get it. Let's make it happen. And then for those who were blowing up my phone from other leagues, not happy that the Western Hockey League is able to play and they can't. I can't. That's the stuff you don't hear.
That is the stuff you don't hear. And unfortunately, this is for me probably, and this is again just me thinking out loud, probably a little less about, hey, the kids really need this, and more about, look at these are elite kids who are trying to make careers out of playing hockey, right? And the Western Hockey League sends a good bulk of players to the National Hockey League. So there's interest from a bigger body. Less so in the Junior A leagues, much less so in the Junior B leagues.
Yeah.
So that's where I come at it. You know,
We've spent 5 minutes on point one, so I'm going to move on. But it's very important to us. I'm just hoping for the best, like everybody else. Point two: COVID chaos in the National Hockey League. There are now 4 teams that are under COVID suspension: the Minnesota Wild, New Jersey Devils, Buffalo Sabres, and my team, Saskatchewan's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. So hope all is well there. Brian Burke saying on Sportsnet last night that his biggest fear is that they'll get to the playoffs, they'll complete the regular season, and some teams won't have played 56 games because where are you going to put all these games in they're missing? He thinks it's calamitous. I don't. Berkey knows a lot more than I do. He's been the general manager of 4 NHL teams, but it is what it is. You know, sports people are creatures of habit. They expect and want everything to be perfect, and when it's not, they're like rocked right out of the routine. I was that way. It's not going to be perfect, guys.
No, it's not.
I don't think it's the end of the world. Point 3, I had down here in the warm-up for the Four Seasons Sports Palace. Come in and warm up at the Four Seasons. You're home for the NFL. Charleston Hughes released. Well, this morning, that's changed. I had to scribble a new note in here. We broke this story here from the Rod Pedersen Show that Charleston Hughes has signed with the Toronto Argonauts. That was fast. Story's not done yet, though. But the Argos and Charleston are now on Twitter asking for a new Twitter handle for Chucky, because his Twitter handle was at Saskatchewan. This is the Aaron Donald of the CFL, folks. For all those American viewers that are watching, it's big news in the CFL. He's gone to the oldest team in pro football, the Toronto Argonauts. We broke the story. But here in Saskatchewan, it's interesting to see the comments coming out and where they're coming out from. Almost a little bit of damage control. People saying, oh, he's going to the Argos. Well, they go over the cap, and nobody cares if they go over the cap. They don't get fined. Almost sour grapes in a way. So there are some fans that are on this side going, hey, he wouldn't take a pay cut. That's on him. The other players do. That's a very valid stance. You got Charleston over here going, I've led this league in sacks the last 4 years. I'm worthy of this amount of money. They're not going to pay it? Thanks for the memories. And that's where we are. So really big news across the CFL with Charleston Hughes. Point 4, a downer. The NLL, National Lacrosse League, cancels its season. I'm going to talk about again here what I talked about an hour ago. People see that. This is 2 championship playoffs that this NLL will miss. You can basically say 2 years that they're going to miss because of COVID. And people are saying, CFL fans, that, well, if the NLL can miss 2 years, maybe we can miss 2 years and still be okay. And you need to understand, they're nowhere near similar in their business model. They're a lot closer to each other than, say, the NFL and CFL or the NHL and CFL. But as a viewer, Ken in Saskatoon texted in last hour, what did he say the average salary was in the NLL? Was it $19,000?
Yeah, something like that.
The average salary in the CFL, $85,000? The guys in the NLL, we love them. We know them. We've had them in here. Jeff Shatler, we love. But it's their second job. Playing pro lacrosse is their second job. And that goes for the staff as well, really. They don't have huge, monstrous staffs in the NLL. They're skeleton staffs. CFL, huge staffs. Way bigger coaching staffs. And they're paying the players into the millions of dollars collectively. So you can't compare the two. Just want to point that out.
Yeah.
Hi, Jacques Dupuis. He says he's trying out the YouTube feed. He's in Ottawa. Rich Allender's watching in Boston, Massachusetts. He says Charleston Hughes is closer to home now, which may be important to him. I think so. But he's spent his entire CFL career in Western Canada, so how important is it?
I know.
Jeff in the Zone says, sup, Rod and Darren. What do we say back?
Sup.
Yeah, with the obligatory head nod. Sup. Point 5, 8 games in the National Hockey League tonight. Here in the Scotia North Division, the big ones are Ottawa at Montreal, Vancouver at Toronto. That's his focus game. Vancouver at Toronto.
That's right.
And my focus game will be Calgary at Winnipeg. As they're calling it in Winnipeg, Game 6, which it's not, but it feels like it. And moving on to point 6, what I love about this show is how we sew things up as the show goes along. We get to the bottom of things.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is Paul Maurice, the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets, and his media availability yesterday went off for as much as Paul Maurice could go off. And a reporter, Sean Reynolds, who, great friend of this show, Sportsnet guy, did ask Paul Maurice about the heat that's on the captain there, Blake Wheeler. And I kind of wish we could play the clip here. My wife and I were watching it last night in bed, and her eyes got this big, like, ooh, he doesn't seem very happy. As a matter of fact, Paul Maurice, the coach of the Winnipeg Jets, said he's offended at the criticism of his captain, Blake Wheeler. And what I really loved was when he said, you guys are going to do all your analytics, all your analysis, and do what you do, but can you at least be right? That was the best part. And he bit back. He clapped back, as they say. So I sent a note to a Winnipeg friend of mine, and I said, who was Maurice calling out there? Well, there had to be some newspaper scribe or talk host or somebody that's on Wheeler's butt. And he goes, no, it was for everybody. Everybody in Winnipeg. It wasn't one person. It was, it sounds like here with the football team, maybe it's the same there with the hockey team in Winnipeg. They got to always have one guy. There's always got to be that whipping boy. And Line is gone, I guess, so you got to pick one.
Sure. And I don't know why it's Wheeler, but seems like, people, I thought they liked him. But, yeah, there's always got to be somebody, right? Because nobody ever wants to just admit, not that the Jets are a bad team, because they're not. 6-3-1, right? But if you are bad, nobody wants to just say, we're bad, we don't have a chance, and we suck. You want to look at, no. That guy didn't play very good. If he plays better, we'll be better. You always want to blame the problems on somebody, right?
Oh, really?
So you got to pick something. You just noticed? No. And they picked Wheeler, and I don't know. Maurice said he's got 11 points in 10 games. They're 6-3.
Well, they say that it's a negative media market. I've never lived in Winnipeg. Just a lot of the footballers that have gone from the Blue Bombers and signed here with the Rough Riders, they're like, they're so negative with their line of questioning and stuff. Wayne in Victoria, BC. I'm trying out the YouTube chat. It's great. Well, our guys here, the technical guys, are telling me that before long, YouTube will be, aside from television, our number one mode of broadcast digitally. So we'll see how it goes. Gus logged in. Okay, we'll get to that. You had a comment from Norway? Would you mind throwing that up? Where it is now 7:14 p.m. in Norway. From Trent. Norway calling. I'm sad to see Charleston Hughes leave for Toronto, but I wish him all the best. I wish the Rush were back in Season 2, but they will be back. I believe that Tom Brady will win a Super Bowl, but the game comes down to the last minute. Stay well, everyone. Whoa, can your ticker take it if the Super Bowl came down to the last minute?
Mine might not.
Because I am such a big Tom Brady fan. Not necessarily a Tampa Bay fan, but I don't know if I could take it. Oh. And I had it down here as a bonus point was Super Bowl 55, but Gus Frerotte is going to join us next to talk about that as part of Super Week, presented by Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager, superior taste with only 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. By the way, thank you for those that have rallied for the Kinsman Telemiracle draw. You see over my shoulder here, the total jump by like 10 grand over the weekend. Overnight. The Telemiracle 50-50 draw is live now. Anybody that knows this province will know. Well, this is the 45th year of Telemiracle, which is the telethon on CTV, raising money for the Kinsman Foundation. And if you don't know, Kinsman Foundation is helping people every day improve their quality of life and independence through gifts of mobility equipment and medical travel assistance. Tickets for the lottery can be bought by anyone over the age of 19 that is physically in the province of Saskatchewan at the time of purchase. As a guy who's lived here all but years of my life, I know people that have received the benefit of Kinsman mobility devices, from a motorized wheelchair to a lift for your vehicle, for a lift for your home. This is what Kinsman does, folks. And can you imagine the strife that they're under because of COVID and trying to raise money? So anyways, you've got until February 26th to enter the 50-50. You can purchase your tickets at telemiracle5050.ca, and the winner will be announced live on Telemiracle 45 on CTV. Our good friend Gus Frerotte joins us next. You're watching the RP Show. It is episode number 414 of Canada's daytime sports talk show across all 10 provinces and 31 states on Game Plus TV Network, live daily on YouTube and Facebook, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed. IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Look like the pros. Shop Ultimate Fan Zone. NHL, NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, and more. We have something for every sports fan. Autographed jerseys, prints, jersey stitching, custom framing, and collectibles. UFZ is your one-stop sports store offering fans official team gear. Check out Saskatchewan's Man Cave Corner on River and Main, downtown Moose Jaw, or visit us online at ultimatefanzone.ca. Built by fans for the fans.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I got to check the poll results here, by the way, for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. And that is, which team will have more rushing yards in Super Bowl 55, Kansas City or Tampa Bay? Man, there seems to be a lot of Chiefs fans up here, but only by a slim margin. 52% on Twitter are saying the Kansas City Chiefs. On Facebook, what are they saying, Dupes? 56%.
Yeah, 56%. It's close.
Yeah.
Maybe that 3-point spread is a lot more accurate than we thought.
And as we bring in Gus Frerotte, Gus, we've been running some prop bets earlier this week. Who will have more passing yards? They said Mahomes, our voters. We said who would have more yards receiving as a tight end? They said Travis Kelce. So they're leaning to Kansas City up here, sir. How about yourself?
I hear that. I'm kind of leaning Kansas City that way too, but you can never count out Tom Brady as we saw last 2 weeks ago. And so I think it's going to be a great game. I saw one of your listeners say it's going to come down to the final minutes, and I believe that's probably what's going to happen. But I don't know. I just think Kansas City has a lot of firepower right now. Their defense is definitely playing good enough, but it's going to be hard. It's just a really tough game to call.
Isn't it? And by the way, I want to back up a little bit for our viewers. Gus Frerotte, 15-year Pro Bowl quarterback in the National Football League. And I have a couple business items I want to take care of. You're the host of the Huddle Up with Gus podcast that is going very well. And I see that you've joined a new platform as well to get the word out there. We should talk about that first, Gus. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we joined Sounder FM. So Sounder FM was created a few years ago to bring new technologies onto the podcasting platform. And so what they do is make it really easy to transcribe your show, to find your show and use their players that they have. So I'm really excited to be hosted by Sounder FM. And I think it's going to be a great partnership with their the way they can monetize and do different things. They're really cutting edge. And so I'm excited to join Sounder FM.
Congratulations. And by the way, for those watching on YouTube Live, if you have any questions for Gus, let me know. My first real one is, Gus, what would you normally be doing on Thursday of Super Bowl week? Like we had Warren Moon on here yesterday. He hasn't missed Super Bowl in 35 years, right? He's on Radio Row. He's going to parties. What would you normally be doing if it was a normal Super Bowl year?
Usually you try to go. Most of the past years I've taken my sons down and we've gone to some parties. We've gone to Radio Row. We've done odds and end things and with the NFL alumni, with NFLPA, there's always something going on that you can take part in, whether you're an entrepreneur or whether you're just there to have a good time. There's tons of stuff at the Super Bowl. Everything this year is virtual, so it's going to be a little strange, but I'm going to try to join some of those sites and see what's going on.
Next year, Los Angeles, right, Moose?
That's right.
Yeah, all right, Gus. We will meet you in Los Angeles, and we'll host our shows from Radio Row ourselves. I can't wait. So to what your bread and butter is the quarterback play. I mean, just your thoughts on Brady versus Mahomes and the matchup. And as I've asked all my pundits this week, is it unfair to put them against each other when they're not going to be on the field at the same time?
No, I don't think so. I think that's kind of how it goes. You look at each other. I think that Mahomes' team, they've been together for a while. You look at Tyreek Hill, Michael Hardman, the running backs. They've had some pieces there, and Travis Kelce, and they've gelled, right? They kind of know each other really well. Where Tom Brady came into Tampa, had a lot of weapons, but really had no idea what they were all about. So it's taken them a long time to get to where they are. But once they did reach that, I think they're still getting better every week and understanding each other. I'm sure that Tom's going to look back at that Green Bay game. He's made a couple mistakes late in the game, and he was trying to force the ball a couple of times. I'm sure he's going to look at that. But they have some incredible playmakers on that team. So I think it's just going to be a great game. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Well, here's my thinking. Nobody's ever really perfect, and I think this will come down to turnovers like any game. But Tampa Bay has overcome mistakes, Gus, and won games. New Orleans, quite a few. And to me, that tells me that's a sign of a really good team. This is not luck that they're the first home team to ever appear in a Super Bowl.
Right. It's not luck at all. And I think the one thing I worry about is their two safeties for Tampa Bay. Is if they're healthy, how they're going to play, because that they're going to be on skates. They're going to be chasing guys all over the field. Kansas City does an incredible job of game planning and not just throwing stuff underneath. I mean, they're going to go for home runs. So those safeties have to be good. They have to be ready to play. And if they're not 100% healthy, then I think it may be a struggle for that Tampa Bay secondary.
Well, and here's one for you, too. I mean, I've watched every Tampa Bay game this year, just as a Brady fan, as you heard me say. Ndamukong Suh, JPP, chased Aaron Rodgers all over the field in Week 6. They sacked him in the conference championship game. But they're not facing Aaron Rodgers this week. Like, Patrick Mahomes is probably the most nimble quarterback in the National Football League. How does their challenge and assignments change in the Super Bowl?
Well, I think what their job mainly will be is to stop that run game, right? If they can hold the Chiefs to be one-dimensional, I think that's going to be the best. They do have one of the best, if not the best, run-stopping defenses in the league. So I think that's the key, is if they can just hold that run game down to a very low number, put Patrick back and pass, and then JPP and those guys can get after the rush a little bit. I think the hardest part for the Chiefs is losing their left tackle, bringing in a young guy. And so I'm sure they're going to have a game plan on how to attack him and how to keep him frustrated. And then if you think about the Chiefs and what Andy Reid, he's been around so long, I can imagine the tight end being on that side, protecting that tackle as much as possible.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Andy Reid, because it's interesting. They're going after back-to-back Super Bowls. Bruce Arians has been here before, and it looked like him and Tom were not getting along throughout the season. You see all the coverage that I do. Clearly, that was either bunk or they got over it. How much does coaching do the players decide it in a Super Bowl, or is it X's and O's?
Well, I think for the most part, I would say 90% of it, the players are going to decide it, right? For making mistakes, mental mistakes, not catching the ball, things like that. But when it comes to coaching, those replay decisions, all those decisions we saw in the Green Bay game, they kicked the field goal rather than having Aaron Rodgers go for it on fourth down. Which, that's a coaching decision. But I think with Tom Brady, those decisions become a little easier because you trust him so much. He's been there. And if I look at somebody who has more rings, is it Bruce Arians or Tom Brady? You're probably going to go with what Tom Brady wants to do.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. We're getting into some fun questions then. Like on the Matt LaFleur thing, what did you think when he trotted out the field goal crew late in the NFC Championship game? Because I'm like, I just envisioned a white flag being waved. What did you think?
Yeah. That is a very tough decision. I'm sure that's one that he wakes up in the middle of the night and still thinks about. That's kind of like in Pittsburgh here when Mike Tomlin punted it on 4th and short and didn't go for it in the playoff game. People are still upset about that. And, the way I look at it is you might as well put it in the hands of your best player. 3 points is great, but in those types of games, you got to score 7. And if there's anybody you want to put it on, it's going to be your star player, which is Aaron Rodgers. So I think that's a decision that he's going to probably not like the rest of his life, but that's one they made, and they're going to have to live with it.
Well, this is why I think, I know why your podcast is so much fun, because you don't bite your lip. And like LaFleur, after the game at the news conference, is saying, well, I regret it because it didn't work. And it's, Gus, how many times, because you've been around it, I've been around it, do you see a coach saying something and you're like, he's lying? Either that or he won't admit his mistake, right? Like that is coach speak right there.
Well, that's it. Everybody wants to cover their tracks. And, it's easy to have 20/20 vision when you look back at it. But for me, if you're going to fail, you might as well fail, go big and go home, right? And so the way I look at it is if you're going to get in those opportunities and you're that close to going to a Super Bowl, that's the guy I wanted. I don't want it on my right foot of my kicker. I want it on, the right arm of my quarterback.
Speaking of, from our viewers, Michael Willoughby asks, question for Gus, if Brady wins on Sunday, will he become the undisputed greatest player in league history? If I may, I think we've decided that already. Maybe you don't agree, but they're saying if he wins Sunday, he might be the greatest athlete of all time. Where are you on that discussion?
Well, I don't know about that one because I can only speak about football. But I think he's already undisputedly the greatest QB of all time. There's really not going to be anybody that can match that. To have somebody go and play as long as he has, to break the records he has. There was a pretty interesting tweet the other day that I saw that broke his career down to every 7 years. And even every 7 years of his career, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback compared to every other quarterback that's in the Hall of Fame. So what he has done has been remarkable. And I really don't see, even as good as Patrick Mahomes is, I mean, just think about it. He has to stay healthy for another 18 years to catch Tom Brady.
Well, and unbelievable. I like Aikman, by the way. I don't know your thoughts on Troy Aikman, but when they were comparing Mahomes to him last year, remember what he said? He's like, talk to me when he's got 3 Super Bowls. Not one, but Troy's my guy. But a question here on Brady. I flipped this around on guys this week. Would the Patriots have won any Super Bowls without Tom Brady? Because you're seeing guys like Ninkovich and so forth saying the Patriot way is Tom Brady, not Bill. Where do you stand on that?
Well, who's in the Super Bowl and who isn't, right? So you look at that, and Tom is I think you have to look at both of them for as many as they've been to and won. But Tom Brady was kind of the standard for the Patriot way. And, I don't think that anybody's going to argue that. And so if you look at both of them together, that's probably why they've won so many. If Tom Brady didn't have Bill Belichick and had a different coach, they may not have been there as many times, because it's not one player that does it all that wins a championship, right? And he's got to play. You got to have the defense. You got to have the special teams. And you got to have the coaching that puts you there. And so I think Tom, with all those things together, succeeded. And we saw, they've had some incredible plays. They have had a lot of talent this year, and they didn't start out very good. So I think it's all together what the Patriot way is, but I think Tom is definitely the top of the mountain.
20 years of it. It's a shame the way it ended, but these relationships sour. It happens. And with the Bucs this year, no preseason. Let's not forget about that. But lastly, Gus, have you made a prediction? Will you make a prediction? What do you think is going to go down on Sunday?
Yeah, I like the Chiefs in the game. I just think that their firepower, their star power is great. I like the way that Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy call plays, and I think their defense is going to play well enough and get a turnover to help them solidify a win in that game. I don't know if they're going to beat the spread, but I just think the Chiefs are going to win.
Gotcha. What is your Super Bowl plan, by the way? I assume you will have some chili going with the kids. I love that they like our tweets, retweet our stuff. Gunner especially. You're going to be watching with your crew, obviously.
Oh, yeah. So Gunner's home. Gabe is getting ready to go back to college for his last semester of school at Delaware. And so if Gabe is still here on Sunday, we're gonna all be watching the game. We're even going to make my wife watch the game, which since I left football, she hasn't had as much interest in it. But it's the Super Bowl. Everybody loves to watch it. Maybe we'll do a little buffalo chicken dip and have a few beers and have fun.
Sounds great. All right, Gus, appreciate you. Always enjoy chatting ball with you. Stay safe, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
Definitely. Thanks for having me on, Rod. I really appreciate it. And everyone can check me out at huddleupwithgus.com.
There you go. Follow all their social media platforms to do so. Gus Frerotte joining us from Pennsylvania.
Got me
hungry?
Hungry for Super Bowl snacks. Yeah, that buffalo chicken dip.
Clark's telling me that Brandon London is loaded up and ready to go, so we'll pause. But again, our Super Week coverage brought to you by Original 16 Ultra, an Original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Superior taste with only 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show across the Game Plus TV network, live daily on Facebook and YouTube, and listen live for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
Hey, it's Warren Dean. I understand more than anyone how changing weather affects your day, and that's no different for your vehicle. That's why I look to the experts at Suds Full Service Car Wash. They have a wide range of exterior washes, including Lava Shield with Towel Dry. Looking good, Natalie and Kirby. And don't forget their famous Suds Ultimate. Thoroughly cleans the interior of your car. Open Monday to Saturday. No appointment necessary. Head to Suds Full Service Car Wash today, where they treat you like family.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Introducing Original 16 Hard Seltzer. the refreshing taste of delicious peach with vodka made in Saskatchewan. New hard seltzers from Original 16.
There's something for everyone at the Mad Greek Eatery. Delicious Greek dishes, pizza, lasagna, pastas, soups, salads, and much more. The Mad Greek Eatery brings the best authentic Greek cuisine right to you. Available for licensed dining, events, delivery, and takeout. For the best taste and huge portions, there is only one place. Visit the Mad Greek Eatery, downtown Moose Jaw. Call for takeout and delivery today.
IKS Live. IKS Live. Western Canada's premier production services company. LED sign rentals. Video production. Event management. Look no further than IKS Live. Visit our website. IKS Live. Always the best seat in the house. IKS Live.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. We are just a little out of order here. We're going to hold off on our sports update because our Super Week coverage continues as we move along to Sunday with the Buccaneers and the Chiefs. Brandon London joins us, no stranger to the program, but I'll just reintroduce you to him as a member of the New York Giants, Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Montreal Alouettes for 3 seasons, Super Bowl champion. Joins us today from Denver, Colorado. Brandon London, how you doing today, sir?
Hey, Rod, thanks for having me back on, man. Like, sooner or later, I'm going to have my own segment now.
No, I agree. Absolutely. And hey, so you're a host on Giants TV. You played in all these major markets, and you've settled in Denver. What's the story there? What is Denver home for you? What's the deal?
Denver is where we shoot Daily Blast Live. So that's my Monday through Friday. I shoot here, the daytime talk show that I'm on Monday through Friday. And then when I go do Giant stuff, pre-COVID, I would fly, take a red eye, and go out and do my Giant stuff on the weekends and fly back into Denver to do daytime TV again. So I'm a man of many. I wear many hats.
You're a grinder. You grind. So COVID slowed you down a little bit, hey? What's the COVID outlook down there? Because we hear a lot of news out of Colorado. It's not all good. Any sign of getting back to normal anytime soon?
They just opened up. I guess they just opened capacity some for indoor dining, which is kind of looks good for the future. But honestly, man, I'm just kind of staying low, staying put. You know, our studio schedule has been drastically changed. We don't shoot as many live shows. You go from shooting 6 live shows to just 2 a day. You know, one's live to tape. Everything, you know, it has been affected through that. But, you know, at the same time, I can't complain when people have lost their lives, people have lost their jobs. I still find a way to be, one, safe, responsible, but still be able to create content, do content with the Giants because I was shooting remotely for Daily Blast Live and going into the facility, constantly getting tested during the season. But I lived in New Jersey during that time. So I can't complain about it. I got what I could out of, you know, trying to work, create content in this business. But, you know, I'm blessed, man. And I'm going to keep grinding when it's open, the world is open and it's safe again.
Yeah, well, I'm getting varying reports about what's going on in Tampa for Super Bowl week. You can just imagine. I hear some people are having a blast. I hear it's awful for others. I would tend to believe that because I don't really know what's open in Tampa Bay. But assuming all was normal, would you be there? What would your Thursday at Super Bowl week be like?
Well, you want the PG version or the, you know,
whatever you're comfortable with. Whatever you're comfortable with saying.
No, but here's the thing, because football, sports is like the great uniter, and you just think about that week when you fly in, and not only it's the networking when you're going to Maxim parties or ESPN parties, Madden parties, you're rubbing shoulders with people, you're meeting people, but you're genuinely having fun. You're going to these events, you're away, you're just having fun. And for me, that's the media side or the networking side. But then there's also the football player side to where, I always go back mentally to my rookie year being, a member on the Giants practice squad, but being Randy Moss that week and doing Super Bowl media day and holding the country singer Kelly Pinkler, like oh my
Kelly Pickler,
yep. Kelly Pickler, like doing that, and like you have photos from that, you have memories forever. So for me, Super Bowl week, that 2 weeks, that first week is that grind in terms of putting in the game plan and like getting the actual like on field work. But then that last week, as the player, it was fine tuning. But then as the TV media guy, guy who loves shenanigans, a good party or two, that second week is like where you go and you hang out and have such a good time. And it just sucks that COVID took that away from a lot of people.
Well, for sure. And the next Super Bowl I go to will be my first, but I've been to, I think, 20 Grey Cups, 19 or 20. I don't think it's a ton different in that I put right in the middle. This is party, this is football, and they don't cross. So you just covered the party side, or they shouldn't cross anyways for the players. That's another matter. But
absolutely.
Yeah, but with the football, it is a wonderful matchup. So do you go along with what the pundits are saying? Some are saying this is the greatest matchup in Super Bowl history. Do you go along with that?
I mean, you have to hype this game. This is a big game. There's so many storylines in it. But I go through and I pick individual storylines that I'm going to pretty much like pay attention to. So the whole Steve Spagnuolo versus Tom Brady matchup. Obviously, he's beaten him twice, 2 Super Bowls against Brady. Spags being a D coordinator for Kansas City. I want to see that. The receivers, Cheetah versus the Bucks DBs, and it's just everything that the Chiefs offense, like being a receiver and watching their offense and how they counter punch everything, it's just truly remarkable because I imagine what their offensive meetings are like, how fun they are to watch each other make plays. And because when you're making plays for your team, like for your brothers, and you're going on to the biggest game again, like it's the best feeling in the world as a player to watch those meetings. So, that whole Spags matchup, it's obviously the Chiefs offense, but I just, like any other person who doesn't really have a horse in the race, I just want to see a good game, man, good football, because we don't get it for a long time after this one.
Yeah, and who knows with the CFL either. But I'm looking at this. You're 36, and you've been retired a while.
Ooh.
And but look at Tom, 43.
Yeah.
And he wants to play to 45 or more, and why wouldn't he? What did you think with that revelation when he came out on media day and says he wants to play 45 plus?
See, the competitor in me was like, yeah, I can do that too. But my right knee, my right meniscus was like, no, you can't. And if it's feeling like this at 36, those aches and pains from, constant workouts and getting hit and, getting tackled and and I was a special teamer as well. So trying to tackle and fit, and we had the wedge back then. So trying to fit between 300-pound dudes, my wear and tear at 36 is, unreal. So I can only imagine what other guys feel like, but he takes care of his body, and there's something you pull out of him, and it's that competitor. That's why when certain competitors, the Jeters, the Strahans, the Jordans, the Bradys, when they say they're going to do something, you automatically have to listen, because it's like, that guy outworks everyone, and then he outshines everyone in some of the biggest moments as well. So he's different when he says he wants to do, or she as well, or he or she wants to do something, because they're champions. You can't really go against a champion. You can bet against one, but it's going to sting you more than you're going to win.
Hey, 2 last questions for you, Brandon. One, a prediction. I'm writing everybody's prediction down as we go. How do you think Super Bowl 55 is going to go and finish?
I want an overtime game. I want to see like an overtime game, and then it's Brady just drives. Brady drives down, and he puts it away. It's a game winner. And fittingly for this story, it goes to either Gronk or Antonio Brown. Wow.
So you're saying Tampa by 7?
Tampa by 6, because you don't have to kick that extra point. The Chiefs will get the Chiefs will get the ball. The Chiefs will get the ball in the first overtime. Something's going to happen. They're going to stop. Bucs defense is going to make a stop. Brady's going to go down. He's going to go score.
Now you're getting fancy. I got Bucs by 7. So we're on the same wavelength there. And lastly, I see that that Dolphins jersey over your shoulder. I saw an interview with Tua this morning on Get Up where he was not happy with his rookie season. How would you characterize Tua Tagovailoa's rookie season with the Dolphins?
Well, I mean, you go from a program like Alabama, you're playing for Nick Saban. You can tell he was probably used to something. You're used to such a winning program, and yeah, he went through some adversity while he was there. But it's different, your rookie year. He didn't get that traditional rookie year like other quarterbacks before him, especially when you're taking over a franchise. And you can say, well, look at Justin Herbert. He didn't have one as well. But each guy is individual. Each athlete comes around when that athlete comes around. So you can tell he's probably, as a competitor, he's more frustrated with himself because he sets himself at a higher standard. And he hasn't been able to do that in one short span, one season with one team, with that Miami Dolphin team just now. So competitors talk, stuff gets blown up, but the guy, he's going to show up to work. He's going to get better. They're going to continue to put pieces around him. I hope he doesn't go anywhere. They don't trade him away. But at the end of the day, it's the NFL. You compete. And if he doesn't do it with the Dolphins, he'll get an opportunity somewhere else.
Right, and they'll move on. Brandon London, always great analysis. Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. Stay safe, my friend, and let's do it again.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you, bud. NFL, CFL alum, and Super Bowl champion Brandon London joining us from Denver, Colorado. Sports update. Worst versus first in the NHL's Scotia North Division tonight. The first place Montreal Canadiens host the last place Ottawa Senators in one of 3 all-Canadian matchups. Elsewhere, the Maple Leafs entertain the Vancouver Canucks, and the Winnipeg Jets host the Calgary Flames. Canada will not boycott the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing, despite calls from human rights organizations to do so. A coalition of 180 rights groups want a boycott of Beijing's Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games because of reported human rights abuses against ethnic minorities in China. 2 of the top teams in the NBA's Western Conference square off tonight. The LA Lakers are home to the Denver Nuggets. LA is 3rd in the West, while Denver is 4th. Toronto Raptors return to action tomorrow night against Brooklyn. 3 Canadians are in the field as the PGA Tour gets back to business today at the Waste Management Open in Phoenix. Nick Taylor, Adam Hadwin, and Corey Connors will tee it up at the annual Super Bowl weekend event. I checked the forecast in Phoenix, as I always do. Sunny, 23, 24, all through the weekend. The Minnesota Twins are bringing back 40-year-old DH Nelson Cruz. A person with knowledge of the negotiations tells the Associated Press. Cruz has signed a 1-year, $13 million deal with the Twins. Last season batted .303, 16 homers in 53 games. This sports update for the Tab Brewhouse and Drive-Thru Liquor Store, corner of Rochdale and Pasqua, and for Ben Cahoon's G2G Protein Bars, now with 8 amazing flavors. Order yours at g2gbars.ca. Dupes rejoins me for the overtime segment next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, as well as listen live at Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
This right here is time well spent. Why not pour yourself a smooth Saskatchewan-made Original 16? Warm up to the opportunity to seize the day.
It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC. We continue to follow strict COVID-19 guidelines, but we've also made it easier than ever to skip the showroom and shop online. Trade up to an all-new 2021 GMC Yukon, Sierra, or Buick Encore GX and get super low payments and super high trade-in values all month long. Plus, shop online or in-store and shop worry-free with our great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. It's time to trade and upgrade at Capital GMC in Regina.
An Original 16 to fit your active lifestyle. Introducing Original 16 Canadian Ultra Lager. Just 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
And Moose DuPont. And I'm going to tell all those that are texting my phone, my personal phone, that want to talk about Charleston Hughes and the dub and everything, write in now. This is the viewer takeover, because when I leave here when the show's over, I don't want to talk about it. I want to watch Yellowstone, and I want to do other things. Okay?
Yes.
So write me now when you want to talk about this stuff, not later. Please and thank you. To the YouTube stream, because for me, Facebook's down today. The comments from Clay Bombing and Brandon. Canada should be boycotting the Winter Olympics. Ridiculous. Your opinion. I would say, come on, man. Robin in Prince Albert says, Premier Scott Moe said that he is not aware of any agreement the Saskatchewan government and WHL have. We're hearing more and more and more that the report by Jeff Merrick at Sportsnet is greatly premature. We got word from the WHL office right into the bunker here that there is no agreement. So I don't know, how premature is it? I know you have a thought on that.
Yeah, if it's, not signed off on yet. And I know, we want to make sure all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed before we make that announcement. I don't know that the agreement that tweet from Merrick would have just came out of thin air.
I'd love to know who told him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'd love to know how much substance there is.
What we're saying is this like the Rod tweets with the CFL that are actually right and they say are wrong, but then a couple weeks later it turned out to be right?
Because they just want to release it?
You're right. Or is it he's actually wrong? I've never met Jeff Merrick, but I think the world of him. I think he's very good at what he does.
Yeah.
He's not going to put his reputation out on the line with a tweet like that. That's got everybody talking. So where is it? That's why I didn't really want to touch on it too much. I just want to get him back playing. CFL report that we do daily. The Toronto Argonauts announced today the team has signed American defensive lineman Charleston Hughes. Argo's VP of Player Personnel John Murphy said in the news release, "We couldn't be more thrilled to have Charleston in double blue. His list of accomplishments speaks for itself, and the veteran presence he will bring to the locker room is immeasurable. Charleston makes a living in other teams' backfields, and we are ecstatic he is on our side." Riders did do a lot of winning in Charleston's time.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's in Argo. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers have signed American receiver Kenny the King Lawler to a 1-year extension.
I like that.
I gave him the nickname the King.
I like it.
Not the Bombers. Lawler was named the Bombers' top rookie in 2019 after leading the club with 637 receiving yards. The Ottawa Red Blacks have re-signed American linebacker Avery Williams. The Temple University product had 69 defensive tackles with Ottawa in 2019, his second year with the team. The Edmonton football team has signed American defensive end Sean Lemon to a 1-year deal. For his career, the Lemonator has 70 sacks and 22 forced fumbles. Back to the Argos, they've signed American defensive backs Robertson Daniel and Treston DeCowd, while linebacker Travis Freeney has opted back into his contract. And out in Vancouver, we haven't forgotten about UBC. The Lions signed Canadian linebacker Adam Konar to a contract extension. The North Vancouver, BC product will return for a second season with the Lions, and he had a tremendous sim season, if you remember.
That's right.
Starting middle linebacker for the BC Lions in our CFL sim schedule. So I'm ready to go off the air. Oh,
yeah.
Why does it feel that today wasn't stressful? It just feels long. We covered so much ground today.
Yeah. A little rush. Like, it feels like there was too much to pack in.
Yeah.
To the show. Like, it's
nobody's
rushed.
fault.
No, it happens. It's a good thing.
People are telling us to go to 3 hours, but my brother, the Cowboy, said, "Hey, you don't want to oversaturate it." That was from the Cowboy.
Leave them wanting
and I think
more.
that's what's the Seinfeld line.
Yeah.
Leave them wanting more. I'm going to put this out here, though. Don't miss out on this week's Super Bowl NFL Bet and Get from Come On Canada, our official betting partner of the Rod Pedersen Show. Get 50% of your Super Bowl wager back as a free bet to be used in play for the Super Bowl. Bet up to $160, get $80 back. For more information, head to comeon.com today. Don't forget that we are debuting this Saturday at noon on Access Television. I guess we're filming some of that here as soon as we get off the air of this network broadcast. We had a whole lot of shaking going on. Tomorrow on the program, our NFL insider, Tori Gurley. One last appearance by Tori before the Super Bowl.
Yep.
What a great time to finish off the week with his Super Bowl bet. Keith Janot will be joining us from Direct West. Johnny Avello from DraftKings. This will be the biggest betting weekend of the year, I would think. And John Frenzy. That is all coming up tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern, right here. Please join us for a Football Friday on Game Plus. Angering people is a gift of mine.